BlackRock's buying up America's homes, but this man is doing something worse, and no one's stopping him. In Phoenix, families are losing homes they haven't even made offers on yet. Why? Because this man just backed a startup that can beat you to any house in seconds. One offer, all cash, no inspection, no time to compete. And it's not just the rich getting richer. It's 763,000 investors quietly turning your neighborhood into a Wall Street playground. Let me tell you a quick story. A young couple, Marcus and Jamie, had been saving for over 3 years. They finally scraped together a 10% down payment for a modest 3-bedroom house in a quiet neighborhood just outside of Phoenix. They were pre-approved, ready, hopeful. They found the perfect house, went to the open house, called their agent the next morning to submit their offer. Gone. Sold. Overnight. The seller never even saw their offer. Who bought it? An LLC. All cash. No inspection. No questions asked. And that LLC, it's one of hundreds like it, quietly backed by billion-dollar buy boxes, AI-powered decision engines, and investors you'll never meet. Now pause, because this isn't just a Phoenix story. This is happening in Dallas, Tampa, Charlotte, Sacramento, anywhere with warm weather, job growth, or high rents. It's a target. Wall Street's been gorging on starter homes for over a decade. Blackstone, Invitation Homes, and yeah, even BlackRock. Not because they're outplacing bids themselves, but because they control the money behind the firms that do. BlackRock holds indirect stakes in over 80,000 rental homes through companies like Pretium and Invitation Homes. So they're not knocking on doors, but their capital is. They're not writing the offers, but they're cashing in every time one gets accepted. Then in January last year, Blackstone made a direct move, $3.5 million to swallow Tricon Residential and 38,000 homes in one shot. They didn't just buy homes, they bought cash flow. They bought leverage over entire zip codes. Commentators called it the final boss of corporate landlords. But while Blackstone makes headlines, there's another name you're not hearing enough about. One that's growing faster, flying lower, and backed by one of the richest men in the world. The man pulling the strings? Jeff Bezos. Yes, that Jeff Bezos. You know how he changed We Shop? Now he's changing how people own real estate. Meet Arrived Homes, a click-to-buy real estate platform funded with over $100 million from Bezos' venture capital firm. It lets anyone, literally anyone with $100, buy fractional shares in rental homes across the U.S. To date, over 763,000 investors have taken them up on the offer. Together, they co-own 461 homes. Now, 461 homes might not sound like much compared to Wall Street's numbers, but here's the part that should make BlackRock nervous. This is just the beginning. Arrived isn't playing the old game. They're building a new one. One powered by everyday investors and backed by Bezos-level capital, speed, and scale. It's not about where they are today. It's about how fast they're moving and who's funding the run. That's more investors than there are licensed real estate agents in America. Arrived screens over 100,000 properties a year, but only buys the top 0.2%. That's their vision of a military-grade acquisition model, a vetting pipeline that can pounce faster than Zillow alerts. Day 1, property identified. Day 3, boots on the ground. And day 30, a tenant is already in place. The target return, 8%. If Amazon optimized shopping, logistics, and cloud computing, why wouldn't Bezos try to optimize real estate too? Well, now he is. Arrived doesn't claim to use AI in the way most people think of it, but the speed, scale, and strategy sure feel robotic. Back to Marcus and Jamie. They weren't just outbid, they were outpaced. The offer that beat them came from an LLC tied to a property fund, one that made its move before the couple's mortgage letter even hit the agent's inbox. Now, multiply that across 300 markets. You've got thousands of families competing against cash, code, and a faceless fund that doesn't blink. And here's what happens next. Prices get squeezed. In Phoenix, home values are already up 6.7% in some zip codes this year alone. Rents chase those prices. In Tampa, investors now own over 12% of homes. Tenants are getting renewal notices with $300 monthly increases. In some cities, nearly 1 in 5 homes are investor owned. And the neighborhoods, they change fast. Your kid's best friend moves away next semester. The house across the street has new tenants every year. The old neighbors vanish. Affordable becomes a museum word. And what does Washington do? They slap on rent caps. They run press conferences. They call it a housing crisis. Meanwhile, the big money just clicks next city. And the last stair step into the middle class, homeownership, starts to disappear. Now, here's where it flips. You don't have to play this game because Wall Street only wins when you play by their rules. So stop playing. Go off market. That's where the real deals live anyway. You go direct to sellers, solve real problems, offer the terms bots can't. Seller financing worked in over 8% of home purchases last year. Subject to deals, wraparound mortgages, lease options, no agent, no MLS, no bidding wars, just people. I had a student, Jackie. She lives in Ohio. 3% down, 3% interest, a duplex deal, closed in 12 days. No competition, no algorithm, just 2 humans and a signed contract. I wrote the exact script that Jackie used, and you can download it below for free. And if you want help finding these deals, negotiating them, and funding them, let us know. Maybe you can join us in Vegas this month. But at the very least, there is a little playbook below on how to get started shopping off market for real estate. Hey, quick thing before you go. I'm running this weird experiment where I basically pay people to do real estate deals for them. And then I split the profits with them 50-50. And you can watch this right here to get all the details. And yeah, I know it's probably the most ridiculous offer that I've ever made, but it's working like crazy. And if you're thinking there's a catch, you would be right. I can only work with 2 to 3 people per city. So if you're curious, check out this video here to see if your market's still open. Or don't. It's not for everyone. Thanks for watching though. I'll see you next time. Take care.